So the Sabres get their new head coach and it has a lot of us saying, who? Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to a Buffalo Sabres edition of Believers Talk, where we break down the Buffalo Sabres hiring of a new head coach. How excited should we be? Should we be ready to break the 8-year playoff drought? Before we do that, however, I want to remind everyone to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Remember, not only do we keep you up to date on Buffalo Sabres news, we also have you up to date on the Buffalo Bills, so we've you covered for all Buffalo sports. So hit that subscribe button, like this video, leave a comment what you think about Ralph Krueger as the Buffalo Sabres' new head coach, and then go over on Twitter, just link in the description below, and we'll have you covered there on all Buffalo sports news as well. So Ralph Krueger comes over to the Buffalo Sabres, has spent the last 5 years over in the Premier League. That's right, he has spent the last 5 years over in another country playing soccer. And by playing, I mean, of course, coaching soccer. He was the director of one of the teams over in the Premier League for the past 5 seasons. So what does that mean? He's a little rusty, right, when it comes to the NHL. For those of you who do not know, Krueger started his career actually as a hockey coach for the Switzerland national team, had led them to the Olympics in both 2002, 2006, and 2010. That's actually 3, not both, and then he also led them to a second place finish, led Team Europe to a second place finish in the 2016 World Cup of Hockey. So he is familiar with hockey. He, even in his 5 years over in the Premier League, he has taken time out to be a coach for the international scene in hockey as well. So he knows how to coach up young players, which is really good for what the Sabres roster currently has on its team. They have a lot of young talent on that team, and that's something that people keep saying about him, is that he's good with young talent. So he does have Olympic experience. He also has NHL experience. In the 2012-2013 season, he coached the Edmonton Oilers. He posted a 19-22-7 record, and that's when he was fired. Remember, there was a lockout in the 2012-2013 NHL season, so 19-22-7, and then he was fired from the Edmonton Oilers. That is his only NHL experience. However, other than that, you have to look at the Olympic experience, the Switzerland's coach, the Team Europe coach. Those are the type of things we have to look for to see what kind of scheme he runs, right? Now, we don't know much about his scheming because, again, for the past 5 years, he spent most of his time over in the Premier League. I'm not as excited about this coaching hire as a lot of other people are. The Buffalo Sabres interviewed 6 candidates for this job, 6 NHL candidates, and we get Ralph Krueger again, a guy who has spent the last 5 years playing, in the Premier League soccer. So it makes you wonder what's going on with the Buffalo Sabres. Are they just not that attractive of a team right now? And if so, why do we think Ralph Krueger is going to make this any better? Now, when scouts and analysts have analyzed this head coaching hire, they say that Ralph Krueger is someone who is good at creating offensive schemes in the NHL or in hockey, and so he creates new offensive schemes and able to open things up a little bit. And maybe that's what we need. When asked back when he was going to be Edmonton's head coach, what kind of philosophy, what kind of strategy is he going to have, he said he's going to have a good offensive strategy, but keep in mind we're going to have a good defense as well. So what does that tell you? That means he's more of an offensive focused guy, which is great, again, for a young team that we have. But he also wants discipline, which I love. Discipline can win and lose you games in any professional sports league. So I want my team to be disciplined. So I look forward to seeing that in the upcoming season. Again, penalties killed us in 2018, guys. Penalties killed the Sabres in 2018. A pretty decent penalty kill team, but still ended up in the box way more than we should have. Hopefully, the Ralph Krueger gets us into a better position to not be on the run so much, to not have these 5-on-4 situations, 4-on-3 if you're talking overtime, to be able to play even strength hockey, or maybe to have an advantage in the power play and have a couple more power play opportunities than the other team, to see if we can get some extra wins that way. Again, we have a young team here as we hire Ralph Krueger. Tell you a little bit about where he comes from, his background. He's the 19th coach in Buffalo Sabres history, and again, he's taking over Phil Housley, who went who won just 16 games in the last 57 that the Sabres played this season. A lot of you, I had a video earlier this year saying fire Phil Housley, and a lot of you gave me a lot of crap for that during the season. A lot of you said, no, we shouldn't fire Phil Housley, but it was time. A lot of you agreed with me as well, so it was time to fire Phil Housley. Don't know if Phil Kruger is the right guy to take his place. Makes you wonder why the other 5 coaches we interviewed did not want the Sabres job. Because again, we were linked to a couple big names out there, right? A couple big names were linked to the Buffalo Sabres, but then they went somewhere else, and then they went somewhere else. And so obviously the Sabres, not exactly a team that people are dying to go to. So Phil Kruger might have his work cut out for him. He has a long playoff drought. Again, the Sabres currently own the longest playoff drought in the NHL. So can he put a stop to that? Again, we have a young team. I understand that, and I hope that he can get this team ready to play. But we'll see what happens. Again, I don't want to just completely write this pick off, but you have to wonder what Jason Butterell, GM of the Sabres, was thinking with this guy. And a lot of people around the NHL are saying this is a good coaching hire. This is a good coaching hire. No one should be upset about this hire. Let's see what happens. I think as Buffalo Sabres fans, we have every right to be skeptical. Why did we ever get rid of Lindy Ruff in the first place? We should rehire him in a second. We should rehire him. I mean, there were reports, I don't know if they were true or not, that Lindy Ruff would have taken the job if it was offered to him. We should have offered it to him. We should have offered it to him. Listen, Lindy Ruff was the last good Sabres head coach. Let's be honest. He was the last good one. We need to get another one like that in there. Maybe Phil Kruger's the guy. I hope so. Obviously, I'm not going to count him out until we see what he can do. But again, he's been over in the Premier League for the past 5 years, so might not have the best NHL pedigree. Only 1 year as coach. It was the lockout year. Didn't finish above 500 then. What's there to be excited about? We'll see, guys. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Maybe we have more to be excited about than I'm letting on. Maybe I need to do a little more research on this guy and see what we can do. Again, I'm not going to count him out. We're going to see what happens as the Buffalo Sabres look to end their playoff drought. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like this video and hit that subscribe button. Again, not only do we keep you updated on the Buffalo Sabres, on the Buffalo Bills, but all Buffalo sports. So be sure to stay tuned. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Until I do, go Sabres.